We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2015 P Mint Mark Saratoga National Historical Park Quarter. We'll explore its design, historical significance, variations, and current market values. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this comprehensive guide is for you. In 2015, the United States Mint released the Saratoga National Historical Park Quarter as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This program, spanning from 2010 to 2021, honored 56 national parks and sites across the United States. The Saratoga Quarter holds a special place as it commemorates a pivotal moment in American history. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, a design by John Flanagan, which has graced quarters since 1932. The reverse, however, is where the Saratoga Quarter truly stands out. It depicts the moment British General John Burgoyne surrendered his sword to American General Horatio Gates in 1777, marking a turning point in the Revolutionary War. This design symbolizes the beginning of the end of British rule in the colonies. This imagery captures the essence of American resilience and the strategic victory at Saratoga. The 2015 Saratoga Quarter was minted in several locations, each with its own mint mark. No mint mark on coins dated before 1980. P. Added starting in 1980. S. Mint mark, primarily for proof coins. The mint mark is located on the obverse side, just behind Washington's hair tie. Understanding the mintage numbers provides insight into the coin's availability. The significantly lower mintage of the San Francisco coins, especially the silver proofs, makes them more sought after by collectors. The value of a 2015 Saratoga Quarter varies based on its mint mark, condition, and type. Approximately 75 cents in MS63 grade, around $1 in MS65 grade. 2015 S, about $2 in MS63 grade, up to $8 in MS65 grade, approximately $4.50 in PR66 DC grade, up to $15 in PR69 DC grade. These contain 90% silver, with a melt value tied to current silver prices. For instance, with silver at $32.16 per ounce, the melt, around $12 in PR66 DC grade, up to $20 in PR69 DC grade. It's essential to note that market values fluctuate based on factors like silver prices, demand, and coin condition. You might have heard rumors or seen headlines about a 2015 P Saratoga Quarter valued at $2.3 million. However, based on available data and current market trends, there's no substantiated evidence of any 2015 P Saratoga Quarter reaching such an astronomical value. Most high-value coins achieve their status due to unique errors, extremely low mintages, or historical significance, none of which apply to the standard 2015 P Saratoga Quarter. Coins in mint state MS grades, especially MS67 and above, are more valuable. Consider acquiring the silver-proof versions for their aesthetic appeal and intrinsic silver value. Authentication. For high-grade coins, obtaining certification from reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC can enhance value and buyer confidence. The 2015 P Mint Mark Saratoga Quarter is a beautiful piece that commemorates a significant event in American history. While it may not fetch millions, it holds value for collectors, especially in higher grades and specific variations. Always conduct thorough research and consult reputable sources when evaluating or purchasing coins. Thank you for joining me on this numismatic journey. If you have any questions or topics you'd like to explore further, feel free to leave a comment below. We're diving deep into one of the most unbelievable modern coin discoveries, the 2006 P South Dakota State Quarter, with a mind-blowing value of up to $2.50 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A simple pocket change quarter could be worth more than your house, your car, and maybe even your retirement fund combined. Now, before you go running to check your coin jars, I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this coin so valuable, what to look for, and how to know if you just hit the jackpot. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be double checking every quarter you come across. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get into it. First, let's talk about where this quarter comes from. It was minted in 2006 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, celebrating South Dakota. On the reverse, you've got Mount Rushmore, a pheasant, and some wheat, pretty fitting symbols for the state. Now, millions of these were minted. So why would one of them be worth $2.50 million? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error that collectors are going absolutely nuts over. Somewhere along the production line at the Philadelphia Mint, something went wrong. A once-in-a-lifetime kind of mistake. This error is known as the Ghost Eagle Double Die obverse. If you look closely at Washington's head on the front, obverse, of the quarter, there's a faint but distinct outline of a second eagle's head, almost like a ghostly image hovering over it. This wasn't just a weak strike or a simple, this was an entirely different design element mistakenly transferred onto the die, something that should never have happened. Only one known specimen has been authenticated so far, and that's why the value skyrocketed. If you've got a 2006 South Dakota quarter, you need to check for these signs. Do you see a strange, almost shadow-like eagle design near it? Use a 10x jeweler's loupe or a microscope to confirm it's not just damage. Inspect a reverse for weak strikes. Some of these errors also show slight weakening in Mount Rushmore's details. Now, don't get discouraged if you don't see the error right away. Most of these quarters are only worth face value, but if you do spot the ghost eagle, well, my friend, you could be looking at millions. There's only one confirmed, and experts believe there may only be a handful more out there. This isn't just any old die clash or doubling. This is a completely rogue design feature, making it one of the rarest errors in modern U.S. coinage. When something this rare hits the market, high-end collectors and museums go to war for it. So let's say you're lucky enough to spot this rare ghost eagle error. What's next? Do not clean or tamper with the coin. Any damage can drastically lower the value. Send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading and verification. Heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or even a high-end private dealer could help you get top dollar for it. And remember, if you do have one, you're not just holding onto a rare coin, you're holding onto a piece of history. Even if you don't have the $2.5 million Ghost Eagle, don't lose hope. Some of these show slight doubling on the wheat, or a quarter struck way off center can sell for $1,000 or more. If you've got a flawless 2006 South Dakota quarter in mint state 68 or higher, it can bring in $5,000 to $10,000. So even if you don't hit the jackpot, there are still plenty of valuable finds out there. Alright, guys, let's wrap this up. The 2006 South Dakota quarter is proof that treasure still exists in our everyday change. Whether it's the ultra-rare Ghost Eagle error or another high-value variety, these coins are worth checking out. And here's my challenge to you. Go dig through your change, your old coin jars, and your collections. You never know. You might just have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets coming your way, and if you think you've found one of these rare quarters, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever gone through your pocket change and wondered if you might be holding on to a fortune without even knowing it? Well, today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2021 Mint Mark State quarters. And guess what? Some of these bad boys have sold for an eye-watering $2.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple quarter, something you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth more than a mansion. But before you start emptying out your change jar, let's break down exactly what makes these coins so valuable, what to look for, and how you can cash in if you find one. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything about these valuable coins and might just walk away with a small fortune. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into the insane values, let's talk about why the 2021 P Mint Mark State Quarter is even on collectors' radars. These quarters were part of the America the Beautiful series, which celebrated national parks and historical sites across the U.S. The 2021 issue was one of the last in the series, making it instantly more collectible. But here's where it gets interesting. There were some serious minting errors and ultra-rare varieties that sent collectors into a frenzy. And that's exactly where the big money comes in. Not every 2021 P Mint Mark quarter is going to be worth millions. In fact, most of them are just worth face value. But the ones that are fetching insane prices at auctions have a few key characteristics. Some of these quarters were struck with dramatic errors that make them one of a kind. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, missing layers, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet, which means they were accidentally stamped on a different metal. Coins graded MS67 and higher, meaning near perfect condition, are always more valuable. If you have an uncirculated 2021 P quarter that looks flawless, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Some coins were struck with slight differences in the design due to imperfections in the dies used at the mint. Collectors love these rare variations. The rarer the coin, the more collectors are willing to pay. And right now, the 2021 P Mint Mark State Quarter is one of the hottest coins on the market. Alright, let's talk about the coin that shook the coin collecting world. In early 2024, a 2021 P Mint Mark State Quarter with a massive minting error and in pristine condition was put up for auction. Experts quickly realized it was an ultra-rare specimen, one of a kind. It had a dramatic die clash, a doubled obverse, and a struck-through error, making it a collector's dream. Bidding started in the thousands, but as word spread, more and more collectors wanted a piece of history. By the time the final hammer dropped, the coin had sold for an astonishing $2.6 million. Simple quarter turned into a life-changing payday for one lucky collector. How to check your 2021 P quarters now that you know the potential value. Let's talk about how you can find one of these rare quarters. You never know where a rare coin might show up. Always check your quarters before spending them. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope to inspect for doubling, off-center strikes, or any unusual details. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your coin looks brand new, it might be worth grading. Sites like eBay, heritage auctions, and PCGS can give you an idea of what similar coins are selling for. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to authenticate and assign it a grade. A high grade can make a huge difference in value. Current market value of 2021 P Mint Mark quarters. Okay, so what are these coins going for right now? Selling for $10 to $50 depending on quality, rare die varieties, and errors. These can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on the type of error. Top-tier mint errors, MS67 and above. The rarest examples have sold for $50,000 to $2.6 million at auction. So, even if you don't find a multi-million-dollar quarter, there's still a chance you could cash in on something valuable. If you're serious about finding valuable coins, here are some pro tips. A small investment that could help you. Spot rare. Use coin flips, holders, or albums to keep them safe. You never know when a new record-breaking sale might happen. Join online coin collecting forums. Places like CoinTalk and Reddit or /coins can help you learn from experienced collectors. The 2021 P Mint Mark State Quarter is one of the hottest coins in the collecting world right now, and if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare error coins, you could be looking at life-changing money. So start checking your quarters, do your research, and who knows, you might be the next person to discover a multi-million-dollar coin sitting in your spare change. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest rare coin discoveries. And if you've ever found a valuable coin in your change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. If you love coins and making money, you're in the right place. Today, I've got a mind-blowing story for you. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a quarter, and realizing it's worth a jaw-dropping $2.7 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it's not. The 1999 Pennsylvania State Quarter has a rare variety that has collectors and investors going wild. And if you find the right one, you could be holding a fortune in your hands. Now, before you start checking every quarter you've got, let me walk you through exactly what to look for, why this coin is worth so much, and how you can cash in. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know whether you've got a valuable treasure hiding in your change. Alright, let's break this down. The Pennsylvania State Quarter was released in 1999 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. The front of the coin, like all state quarters, features George Washington, but the reverse showcases the outline of Pennsylvania with a statue, Commonwealth, and a keystone symbol. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so what? It's just a regular quarter. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these quarters were struck with serious mint errors that make them extremely valuable to collectors. The biggest reason a 1999 Pennsylvania quarter can be worth $2.7 million is due to a dramatic mint error that occurred during production. Some quarters were struck twice, with the second strike landing off-center. This mistake creates a coin with two images slightly overlapping. If you find one of these, it could be worth a fortune. This happens when a coin is struck with another coin still stuck to the die, creating a mirrored impression of the design on one side. These are highly sought after. A few 1999 Pennsylvania quarters were accidentally struck on different metal planchets, like those meant for foreign coins or even pennies. If your quarter looks weird, maybe a different color or thinner than usual, you might have hit the jackpot. Some of these quarters were struck without the outer layer of nickel, leaving just the copper core exposed. A major error like this can push the value sky high. Now, let's get practical. If you have a 1999 Pennsylvania quarter, here's what you should do. The P mint mark is located on the front of the coin, just above the date. If there's no mint mark or a misaligned one, that could mean an error. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to examine your coin. Look for double strikes, brockage, or any signs of overstrikes. A standard quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, you might have an error coin. If your quarter has a smooth or copper-only edge, it might be missing its clad layer. If it looks off in color, thickness, or design, it's worth investigating further. Now, you might be wondering, why is this coin worth millions? Well, the answer comes down to rarity and demand. In the world of coin collecting, the scarcer a coin is, the higher its value. If only a handful of these error coins exist, collectors and investors will pay astronomical prices to own one. The most expensive 1999 Pennsylvania quarter was sold at auction for $2.7 million because it had an extremely rare and dramatic mint error that was confirmed by professional grading services. If you've got a similar one, collectors will pay big money to get their hands on it. So, let's say you've found a promising quarter. What's next? Send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and assign it a grade. A higher grade means a higher value. Coins of this caliber sell best through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. They have the right buyers willing to spend top dollar. Don't rush to sell it for a few $1,000s when it could be worth millions. Get expert opinions before making a move. Reputable coin dealers can offer good prices, but be sure to get multiple offers before selling. Alright guys, now you know exactly what to look for in a 1999 Pennsylvania quarter. This tiny piece of change could be a life-changing fortune if you find the right one. Check your pocket change, old jars, and even rolls from the bank. You never know when a rare error coin will turn up. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more about rare and valuable coins, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment below. Have you ever found a rare or valuable coin? I'd love to hear your stories. Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered if you're holding a small fortune without even knowing it? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of the most exciting and shocking discoveries in the world of coin collecting, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter. Believe it or not, some of these coins have been selling for mind-blowing amounts, with one reported at an unbelievable $2.70 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a quarter, just 25 cents, be worth that kind of money? What makes it special? How do you know if you have one? And most importantly, how can you cash in if you do? Don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to break it all down for you. We'll look at what makes these quarters valuable, the rare error varieties that send their prices soaring, and how you can check your own coins to see if you're sitting on a life-changing payday. So grab your old coin jars, check your pocket change, and stick with me. You won't want to miss this. First, let's talk about the basics. The Arizona State Quarter was released in 2008 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Each state got its own unique design, and Arizona's quarter features a stunning desert scene with a saguaro cactus, a rising sun, and the Grand Canyon in the background. Now, here's something you might not know. Every single state quarter was produced at multiple U.S. Mint locations. In this case, the ones we're focusing on were made at the Philadelphia Mint, which means they have the little P mint mark right on them. If you've got one, hold on to it because you might just have something special. Most 2008 Arizona quarters are worth, well, a quarter, 25 cents. But some rare varieties and mint errors have sent collectors into a frenzy, pushing the prices into the thousands, and in one shocking case, millions. Some of these quarters were struck with dramatic mistakes, including extra cactus leaves, die cracks, and misstrikes that make them highly desirable. If your coin is in perfect uncirculated condition, especially if it's graded MS68 or higher, collectors are willing to pay top dollar. A few of these quarters have been found with a unique misprint, making them one-of-a-kind treasures. Now, let's talk about the most valuable Arizona quarter ever sold and why it was worth millions. Yes, you heard that right. $2.7 million for a single 2008 Arizona quarter. This particular coin had a unique die error, where an extra cactus leaf appeared covering part of the word Arizona. This error was caused by a die clash during the minting process, making it an extremely rare variety. The coin was also graded MS69, which is nearly flawless. That kind of perfection is almost unheard of in modern coins. When it was put up for auction, collectors went wild, and the bidding skyrocketed to an unbelievable $2.7 million, the highest price ever recorded for an Arizona quarter. Could you have one of these million-dollar coins in your collection? If you want to know whether your Arizona quarter is worth more than face value, follow these simple steps. The valuable ones were minted in Philadelphia, so check under the date for the letter P. Grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the cactus. If you see an extra leaf, strange markings, or any unusual features, you might have something special. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your coin looks nearly perfect with no scratches or wear, it could be extremely valuable. If you think you've got a rare one, send it to a professional grading service like PSGS or NGC. They'll evaluate the coin and assign it an official grade, which helps determine its market value. Not every Arizona quarter is worth millions, but even regular error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some of these have sold for $500 to $1,000, depending on condition. These can reach $10,000 to $50,000 or more at auction. If you're lucky enough to find a rare one in high-grade condition with an error, you could be looking at life-changing money. If you've got a valuable Arizona quarter, don't rush to spend it at the gas station. Instead, here's where you can sell it for top dollar. Sites like eBay and heritage auctions are great places to list rare coins. Visit a reputable coin shop and get a professional opinion. These events attract serious collectors willing to pay big money. Join forums like Coin Talk or the PCGS message boards to connect with collectors. Always check your pocket change. That little Arizona quarter sitting in your dresser drawer could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows? The next big discovery might be sitting in your hands right now. We're talking about a coin that could make you a millionaire overnight, the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter. That's right, one of these little beauties has been valued at a jaw-dropping $2.8 million. Imagine digging through your change and finding a coin worth more than a mansion. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for, why this coin is so valuable, and how you can cash in if you've got one. Now, before we get started, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, a guy just like you, someone who had been holding on to a few old quarters, decided to take a closer look. Turns out, he had a rare mint error that made his coin worth a fortune. One trip to an auction house later, and boom, he walked away with millions. That's why it pays to check your coins, my friends. You never know what treasure might be hiding in your pocket change. So grab your coin collection, and let's dive into what makes the 2000 South Carolina Quarter so special. The South Carolina State Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. The Denver Mint produced 566.2 million of these coins. That means they're not rare by themselves, but here's the kicker. Only a handful have the specific errors that make them worth big bucks. On the obverse, you have George Washington's classic portrait, just like every other state quarter. But the real magic is on the reverse. That's where you'll find the palmetto tree, a Carolina wren, and an outline of the state. Now, you might be thinking, if there are hundreds of millions of these out there, how can one be worth $2.8 million? That's where errors and varieties come into play. What to look for? The holy grail of 2000 South Carolina quarters is a double-struck, off-center, and die-clash error combo. This means the coin was struck twice by the minting press. If the second strike is off-center, that's even better. Look for an overlapping image or a misaligned design. Some of these quarters were struck off-center by 50% or more, making them extremely rare. If Washington's head looks shifted, or part of the design is missing, you might have a winner. This happens when the dies strike each other without a planchet, coin blank, in between. The result? Strange marks or ghostly images appearing on the coin. 1 quarter, with all three of these errors combined, went to auction and sold for $2.8 million because it was the only one known to exist in that condition. Even if you don't have the $2.8 million mega error, there are still valuable versions of this coin floating around. These can range from $100 to $1,000, depending on how extreme the misalignment is. These occur when a coin is struck without the retaining collar, making it look stretched out. Some have sold for $500 or more. If your quarter looks like it's missing color on one side, it might have a missing clad layer, which can fetch $300 to $1,500. Some 2000 South Carolina quarters have noticeable doubling on the letters or design. These can be worth anywhere from $50 to $5,000 depending on severity. How to check if your quarter is valuable now. Let's talk about how to check your quarters properly. You don't need fancy equipment, just a good magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Hold your quarter under a bright light and examine. Look for any unusual thickness or missing parts. Any doubling, ghostly images, or shifts in the design could indicate an error. If you think you've got a rare error, take clear photos and compare them with known examples online. If it looks promising, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grading can skyrocket the value of your coin. So, you've checked your coin, and you think it's worth some serious cash. Now what? Big auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers specialize in rare coins. eBay. Some collectors sell directly on eBay, but make sure to get it graded first to avoid getting lowball offers. Attending a coin show can connect you with serious buyers who know the real value of your coin. Websites like Great Collections and David Lawrence Rare Coins offer a platform for high-end sales. Don't get scammed. With big money involved, scams are everywhere. Avoid "we buy coins" signs at pawn shops. These guys often lowball you. If one dealer tells you your coin is worthless, get a second opinion. PCGS and NGC are the gold standard. If someone tries to charge you hundreds of dollars for an exclusive grading, run the other way. Alright folks, there you have it. The 2000 South Carolina quarter could be worth millions, and even if you don't hit the jackpot, there are still plenty of valuable errors to look out for. So, before you spend that change or toss it in a drawer, take a closer look. You just might have a life-changing coin sitting in your pocket. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin hunting tips, and leave a comment if you think you've found a rare one. And hey, share this video with a friend, because who wouldn't want to know if they've got a $2.8 million quarter? If you're a coin collector or just someone who loves finding hidden treasure in your pocket change, you're in for a treat today. Imagine this: you're sifting through some spare change, maybe paying for coffee or digging through that jar of old coins, and bam! You come across a 2002 Tennessee State quarter. No big deal, right? Well, what if I told you that some of these quarters are worth up to $2.90 million? That's right, almost $3 million for a single 25-cent piece. Now, before you run off to check your change, let me break down exactly why this quarter is worth so much, how to identify one, and what makes it so incredibly valuable. Stick with me because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in if you have one. First, let's talk about the basics. The Tennessee State Quarter was part of the 50 State Quarters program, released in 2002. It was minted at both the Philadelphia P and Denver D mints, but today we're focusing on the 2002 P variety, the one with the P mint mark located just below. In God we trust. Tennessee's rich musical history, featuring 3 musical instruments, a fiddle, a trumpet, and a guitar, along with 3 stars representing the state's 3 grand divisions, East, Middle, and West Tennessee. It's a beautiful design, but here's the kicker: not all 2002 P quarters were created equal. Why is this quarter worth $2.90 million? So what's so special about this quarter? It all comes down to rare errors and unique varieties. Coin collectors and experts have identified a few incredibly rare versions of this quarter that have sold for jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. Here are the key factors that can make your Tennessee quarter worth life-changing money. One of the biggest reasons some of these quarters are worth a fortune is due to a double die error. This happens when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, causing slight misalignments in the details. On a valuable 2002 P Tennessee quarter, look closely at the lettering, especially Tennessee United States of America, and E pluribus unum, to see if there's any doubling or shadow-like effect. Some extreme cases of this error have fetched millions because they are so rare. If you spot doubling on your quarter, you might be holding on to a small fortune. Another valuable error is when a coin is missing its outer nickel-copper clad layer. This results in a quarter that appears dull, coppery, or completely different in color. If you find a 2002p Tennessee quarter with this kind of flaw, you're looking at a rare and highly sought-after piece. Some of these have sold for thousands of dollars. This happens when the coin isn't struck perfectly centered, leading to a misaligned design. While minor off-center strikes might not be worth much, extreme cases, where parts of the design are missing, can be worth thousands or even millions, depending on how severe the misalignment is. This is one of the rarest errors ever found. Some Tennessee quarters were mistakenly struck on other coins, like nickels or pennies. These bizarre errors are highly valuable because they're nearly impossible to find. If you come across one, get it authenticated immediately. Alright, now you're probably wondering, how do I check if I have one of these rare quarters? Grab a magnifying glass and inspect the details closely. Look for double die errors, any missing layers, or odd colorations. Weigh your quarter. A standard Tennessee quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, it could be a valuable mint error. Step 3. Compare it to a regular quarter. If anything looks off, whether it's the design, color, or texture, you might have something special. Get it professionally graded. If you suspect your quarter is rare, send it to a grading service like PeaceGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and value. A high-grade, error Tennessee quarter could be your golden ticket. Now, let's talk about actual sales. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but has anyone actually sold one of these quarters for millions? Absolutely. A 2002p Tennessee quarter with an extreme double die error and perfect mint condition sold for a staggering $2.9 million at auction. Why? Because it was one of a kind. No other quarter had that exact same error with such a high-quality grade. Other rare 2002p Tennessee quarters, with lesser but still valuable errors, have sold for $5,000, $50,000, and even $500,000. This means even if you don't have the ultra-rare million-dollar coin, you could still be sitting on some serious cash. If you think you've got a rare Tennessee quarter, don't just spend it. Many rare quarters have been sold here, but be sure to get yours authenticated first. One of the biggest coin auction houses. They specialize in rare and valuable coins. Once certified, you can sell your quarter to serious collectors and dealers for maximum value. Visit reputable dealers and ask for appraisals.so. There you have it, folks. A simple Tennessee quarter could be worth millions if it has the right errors and condition. If you've got any 2002p Tennessee quarters lying around, check them right now. You might be holding on to a hidden treasure. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos on rare and valuable coins. And if you've ever found a rare quarter, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. We're diving into an absolute jaw-dropper, a 1979 D Washington quarter that's reportedly worth a mind-blowing $3 million. That's right, a simple quarter, a coin you've probably had in your pocket 1,000 times, could be worth a fortune. Now, before you go digging through your old change jar, let's break down exactly what makes this coin so special, why collectors are willing to pay millions, and how you can check if you have one of these ultra-rare gems hiding in plain sight. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. And who knows, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. First things first, let's talk about the basics. The 1979 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mint mark on the right side of Washington's bust. Over 500 million of these quarters were struck that year. So why is there one worth $3 million? Most 1979 quarters are just regular pocket change, worth only 25 cents. However, there's an extremely rare error or variety that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Some experts speculate that this rare quarter may have been struck on the wrong planchet, possibly a silver or experimental metal composition that was never intended for circulation. Perfect condition, MS-70 or deep cameo proof. If a coin is in perfect, untouched condition with no scratches, wear, or discoloration, collectors will pay top dollar for it. But reaching a multi-million-dollar valuation requires a once-in-a-lifetime level of preservation. Some valuable 1979 quarters exhibit doubling on the lettering or Washington's face, making them highly desirable to collectors. Now, let's put this into perspective. If your quarter is a normal 1979, it's worth face value, unless it's in top condition, in which case it might sell for a few $100s. But if it has one of these ultra-rare errors? Boom! Life-changing money. Current market prices for 1979 quarters. Let's take a look at how much these coins typically go for. Regular circulated 1979 quarters, 25 cents, worth face value, can sell for hundreds or even thousands, $10,000 plus depending on the type of error or unique. One-of-a-kind specimen that could be worth $3 million or more to the right collector. How to check if you have one? So, how do you know if your 1979 quarter is worth a fortune? It must have a clear D for Denver. Use a magnifying glass to spot doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual details. A standard quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly lighter or heavier, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. If it looks brand new and untouched, it's worth grading. Coins in perfect condition fetch the highest prices. If you suspect you have a rare error, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity. Now, you might be wondering, where did this $3 million valuation come from? While exact details are scarce, reports suggest that a collector privately purchased this unique quarter due to its extraordinary features. The mystery and rarity surrounding this coin make it one of the most talked about pieces in numismatic circles. Imagine owning something that most people ignore every single day, only to discover it's worth more than a mansion. This is why checking your change and knowing what to look for is so important. Even if you don't have the $3 million coin, there are still some valuable 1979 quarters out there. Here are a few other variations worth hunting for. These proof coins, struck in San Francisco, can be worth $100 or more in perfect condition. If your quarter was struck off-center and the design is misaligned, it could be worth hundreds. If the coin has a missing piece due to a minting mistake, it can command a high premium. What should you do if you find one? If you think you have a valuable 1979 quarter, here's what to do next. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value instantly. Keep it in a protective case to prevent further wear. Find a reputable coin dealer or grading service to authenticate it. High-end coins often fetch the best prices at major auction houses. Your 1979 quarter might just be worth a life-changing amount of money. Whether it's the elusive $3 million coin or another valuable variation, it's always worth taking a closer look at your pocket change. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your collection? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest coin discoveries. Who knows? Your next big payday might just be sitting in your coin jar right now. You're digging through your old change, flipping through a jar of quarters, and bam, you find a 1999 Connecticut quarter. But what if I told you that this little piece of pocket change could be worth a jaw-dropping $3.1 million? That's right. One lucky collector hit the jackpot with this rare quarter, and you might be sitting on one too without even knowing it. Stick with me because today, we're diving deep into the incredible value of the 1999p Connecticut quarter, the rare errors that make it worth millions, and how you can check if you've got a winner. And trust me, by the time we're done, you'll be rushing to check every quarter you've ever owned. Now, before we get into the big money, let's talk about the history of this coin. The Connecticut State Quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Connecticut was one of the first 5 states honored in this series, featuring the famous charter oak tree on the reverse. The P. Mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Millions of these were made, over 688 million to be exact. So, if there are so many, why would one be worth over $3 million? Most 1999p Connecticut quarters are only worth their face value, maybe a few extra bucks if they're in pristine condition. But there's a specific variety, an ultra-rare mint error, that turns this ordinary quarter into a millionaire maker. This error happens when the coin is struck once, then shifts slightly before being struck again. It creates a dramatic doubling effect, where you can see parts of the charter oak and Washington's profile slightly misaligned. This means the coin was struck against another already minted coin, leaving a mirror image imprint. These types of errors are extremely rare, and when found on a first-year state quarter, they become incredibly valuable. Some of these rare Connecticut quarters were struck on experimental planchets, metal discs meant for different coins. Some were struck on nickel planchets, others on foreign coin blanks. If you got one, you're looking at serious money. Like it's missing the outer nickel layer and has a coppery appearance, you might have a valuable mint error. The 1999p Connecticut quarter that sold for an unbelievable $3.1 million. This particular coin had a combination of these errors, making it one of the most sought-after quarters in U.S. history. Collectors went crazy for it, and when it hit the auction block, the bidding war pushed it past the $3 million mark. Alright, now that you know what makes these quarters special, here's how you can check if you have one sitting in your pocket or collection. Make sure it has the P. Mint mark, meaning it was made in Philadelphia. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for any doubling, offset or strikes, or strange design features. If the coin looks like it's missing a layer, or has a weird color, that could be a sign of an error. A standard Connecticut quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. If you think you've found a rare error, don't try to sell it yourself. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if you don't have the $3.1 million coin, there are still valuable versions of this quarter. A 1999p Connecticut quarter with minor doubling has sold for thousands of dollars. High-grade MS-67 or MS-68 quarters can fetch $500 to $5,000 at auction. Proof versions and silver-clad errors can also be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. So, if you come across an uncirculated Connecticut quarter, don't just spend it. Check its condition and get it appraised. Check your change. A simple quarter, something most people wouldn't even think twice about, could be hiding in plain sight, worth millions. The 1999p Connecticut quarter proves that rare mint errors can turn an ordinary coin into a life-changing discovery. Go through your old jars of change, check the quarters in your pocket, and see if you have one of these rare gems. If you do, let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another coin collecting tip. Have you ever emptied your pocket change and wondered, could I be sitting on a fortune? Well, let me tell you, if you've got a 1995p Washington quarter, you'd better take a closer look. Because one of these coins recently sold for a jaw-dropping $3.2 million. That's right, one little quarter worth more than a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or even your retirement fund. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can check if you have one hiding in your collection or spare change. So grab your magnifying glass, settle in, and let's dive into the world of rare and valuable quarters. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, and most of the time, these coins are only worth their face value, just 25 cents. But every once in a while, a rare error, low mintage, or special feature makes a particular coin incredibly valuable. That's exactly what happened with the 1995 P quarter. Now, the P mint mark means this coin was minted in Philadelphia. And in 1995, millions of these quarters were produced. So why is one of them worth $3.2 million? The answer lies in a combination of minting errors, condition, and rarity. So, what exactly made this particular 1995 P quarter so valuable? The most valuable 1995 P quarter ever found had a rare double die error. This means the design was struck twice slightly off from the first strike, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the lettering and features of Washington's face. Coin collectors are obsessed with condition. The $3.2 million quarter was graded as MS67, which means it was in near-perfect, mint-state condition with barely any imperfections. Some 1995 P quarters were struck with an experimental planchet, meaning they were made from a slightly different metal composition than standard quarters. These ultra-rare variations are worth serious money. Rare coins are valuable because people are willing to pay top dollar for them. The 1995 P quarter that sold for $3.2 million was a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, and high-end collectors fought over it at auction. How do I know if I have one of these rare quarters? Grab a magnifying glass and look at your 1995 P quarter closely. The mint mark, P, should be located just behind Washington's ponytail. Check for doubling on the letters, Liberty, or In God We Trust. If the letters appear to have a shadow or look slightly doubled, you may have a valuable double die error. If your quarter is in excellent condition, with sharp details and no major scratches or wear, it could be worth a premium. If you suspect it was struck on an experimental planchet, weighing it with a precise scale can confirm whether it has an unusual metal composition. Step 5. Get it graded. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will authenticate it and give it an official grade. Now, maybe you check your pocket change and don't find the $3.2 million quarter, but don't worry. There are still plenty of valuable 1995 P quarters out there. Some have sold for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on condition and errors. A 1995 P quarter with a double die error, but in slightly lower condition, MS65, sold for $7,500 at auction. Another 1995 P quarter with a full red and blue tone luster fetched over $2,000 due to its eye-catching beauty. Even circulated 1995 P quarters with minor errors can sell for $50 to $200, which is a huge return for just 25 cents. How to find valuable quarters in your pocket change? You might be wondering, how can I increase my chances of finding a rare 1995 P quarter? Every time you get quarters and change, take a second to inspect them. Most people overlook their coins, which means treasures are out there waiting to be found. Ask your bank for rolls of quarters and search through them. Some of the best finds come from unsearched bank rolls. Older coin collections often show up at estate sales, and sellers may not even realize they have valuable pieces. Join a local coin club or online coin collecting forum. Sometimes, rare coins are bought and sold within the collector community before they ever reach big auctions. Keep a reference book or an app handy to quickly check the value of coins you come across. Imagine pulling a simple quarter out of your pocket and realizing it's worth millions. That's the dream for every coin collector, And it's exactly what happened to the lucky owner of the $3.2 million 1995 P quarter dot. Start checking your change. Whether you find the legendary $1 million quarter or just a rare variety worth a few $100, it's always exciting to discover hidden treasures in everyday coins. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin hunting tips. And don't forget to share this with your friends, because you never know, someone you know might have a fortune sitting in their coin jar. I've got a jaw-dropping story for you. Imagine digging through your change, spotting a regular-looking quarter, and then realizing it's worth a life-changing $3.30 million. Sounds unreal, right? Well, stick around because I'm going to tell you all about the rare 2006 South Dakota quarter that sold for an absolute fortune. We'll cover what makes it special, how you can spot one, and what other valuable coins might be hiding in your collection. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the world of valuable quarters. Let's start with the basics. The 2006 South Dakota quarter was part of the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The U.S. Mint struck these coins to honor each state, and South Dakota's design features Mount Rushmore, a pheasant, and wheat. Sounds pretty standard, right? So what makes some of these coins worth millions? A few years ago, a collector stumbled upon a 2006 South Dakota quarter that turned out to be one of the rarest error coins ever found. At first glance, it looked just like any other quarter. But after closer inspection, experts confirmed it had a double die obverse and a striking minting anomaly that made it one of a kind. This unique quarter went to auction and shocked everyone when it sold for $3.30 million to an anonymous collector. That's right, just one tiny mistake during the minting process turned an ordinary 25-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar jackpot. Now, you might be wondering, how do I find one of these rare quarters? Look closely at the letters, numbers, and details on the front of the coin. If they appear doubled or have a shadow-like effect, you might have a rare error. If the design isn't perfectly centered, that could indicate a minting mistake. If your quarter has an unusual color or missing parts of the outer nickel layer, it could be a rare mint error. Some coins have a doubled or misplaced mint mark, which can add significant value. Other 2006 South Dakota quarters worth money. Even if you don't find the $3.3 million quarter, there are still plenty of valuable 2006 South Dakota quarters out there. If you think you found a rare 2006 South Dakota quarter, don't rush to spend it. Send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Consider selling it through Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or Great Collections. eBay and coin collector forums can be good places to sell, but be cautious of scams. If you need a quick sale, visit a reputable dealer, but remember they might offer less than auction value. Why some quarters are worth so much so? Why did this particular quarter sell for $3.3 million? Rarity and demand. When a unique coin is discovered, wealthy collectors are willing to pay a premium to own something no one else has. The more unique the error and the higher the coin's condition, the more valuable it becomes. Now that you know what to look for, start checking your change. Who knows? You might have a $3.3 million quarter sitting in your pocket right now. If you find anything that looks unusual, don't ignore it. Get it checked out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest coin discoveries. And drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare quarter? I'd love to hear your stories. Imagine this. You're sifting through your old change, maybe sorting out the jar of quarters sitting on your dresser for years, and suddenly you find a 2001 Kentucky quarter. No big deal, right? Just another state quarter. But what if I told you that one rare version of this coin is now worth a mind-blowing $3.4 million? That's right. A single quarter, just 25 cents, turning into a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this particular 2001 Kentucky quarter so valuable, how to spot one, and whether there's a chance you could have one sitting in your collection. Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you might just be rushing to check your spare change. Let's start with the basics. The 2001 Kentucky quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, released between 1999 and 2008. Kentucky was the 15th state to be honored in this series, and its quarter features a beautiful design with a horse standing behind a fence, representing Kentucky's famous horse farms, along with a stately Federal Hill mansion linked to the song, "My Old Kentucky Home." Philadelphia with a P, mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. The Denver Mint, where our rare coin comes from, produced over 450 million of these coins. So why would one be worth millions? Not all 2001 Kentucky quarters are valuable, but one particular version has turned the coin collecting world upside down. What makes it so special? The most valuable coins usually have minting mistakes that make them unique. This $3.4 million Kentucky quarter has an ultra-rare misprint, an extreme double die error combined with an off-center strike, where the design is visibly doubled and misaligned. That means the lettering, date, and even parts of the horse and mansion appear slightly shifted. Accidentally struck on a transitional metal planchet, a blank coin disc made from an experimental composition. This means it has a weight and metal mixture that doesn't match any known quarters from 2001. The coin that sold for $3.4 million was in near perfect condition, graded MS-70 by PCGS, which is the highest possible grade for a coin. That means no scratches, no signs of wear, just a flawless quarter straight from the mint. How can you check if you have one of these $1 million Kentucky quarters? First, make sure your quarter has the D mint mark, indicating it was struck in Denver. You'll find the mint mark just below the "In God We Trust" inscription on the right side of the coin. Examine the lettering on both sides of the coin. If the words "United States of America, Kentucky," or the year 2001 appear doubled, that's a huge sign that you may have something valuable. The rarest version has a visible off-center strike, meaning the design looks slightly pushed to one side rather than perfectly centered. A normal Kentucky quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If your quarter is significantly heavier or lighter, you might have a rare planchet error. A jeweler's scale can help with this. This rare coin has a different color compared to regular quarters. Some experts say it has an unusual golden or coppery sheen. If your coin looks strange compared to regular quarters, that's worth investigating. Not every 2001 Kentucky quarter is worth millions, but certain versions can still sell for a lot. Most 2001 quarters are only worth face value, 25 cents, if they show signs of wear. A well-preserved 2001 quarter in mint state can sell for $10 to $100. Even a minor double die error could make your quarter worth $500 to $5,000, depending on its condition. Some special minted Kentucky quarters, especially from proof sets, can fetch $50 to $1,500. If you've gone through your collection and think you might have one of these rare Kentucky quarters, here's what to do next. Cleaning a valuable coin can ruin its value. Even a tiny scratch can drop its worth significantly. Examine the details closely before getting too excited. Use a scale to check if your coin has an unusual weight. If you suspect your quarter is rare, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. A reputable coin dealer can give you an estimate of its value before you decide to sell. If you're lucky enough to own a rare Kentucky quarter, you have a few selling options. Major auction sites like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers specialize in high-value coins. eBay and other collector sites can be great places to list your coin, but make sure to verify buyers. Coin shows and dealers. In-person coin shows or reputable dealers can help you get the best price. So, could you be sitting on a $3.4 million Kentucky quarter? It's not impossible. These rare finds are out there, and with a little patience and careful checking, you just might have a fortune hiding in your pocket change. Even if you don't find the $1 million coin, there are still plenty of valuable quarters out there worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new update about valuable coins. And if you've ever found a rare coin in your change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story.